The idea behind these drawings is to try and capture the essence of the bird, the essence of their character. Birds are interesting animals because they appear very fragile, but they're actually very aggressive, very territorial. So there's this sort of interesting combination or duality between the fragility of the bird, but then their true nature. And if you've ever seen hummingbirds, they're very territorial. I mean, they'll kill each other over a feeder. The other thing about them is they're very funny. They're very comical, especially these birds. These hyacinth macaws have a real comedy about the way that they move and their expressions. So the idea behind adding the various elements like the thread, which is what this is, or hats or hoodies, came about as a result of wanting to incorporate a humorous element. So this is Coochis. She's one of my oldest birds. She is approximately 15 years old. They live for about 30 years, so she's middle-aged. And she's a real ham. She loves to do tricks. This is her play dead. And then she loves to go outside. And I put her on the Volkswagen, on my Volkswagen, which has a car cover on it right now. And this is very funny. I took a picture of this, posted it online. It's called Gray Bird on Gray Car, Still Life. And she'll stay there for forever. This series derived from my experience of working with an actual rescue organization in Burbank that rescues a lot of raptorial birds, including hawks, red tails, barn owls, all sorts of varieties of birds. One bird had his bill half sawed off, and I was so appalled and angered by that, but also very moved by this animal's strength and tenacity, that I started creating a series of images based on these birds. One of the birds that came in had, actually in this case it was wire wrapped around its head. But some of them are more menacing and darker than others. Some of them are a little bit more playful. I didn't want them all to be, completely morbid and horrific. And this is another image of a whippet that had its ear, got its ear bit by another dog. And then there's this whole series I did of birds wearing hoodies. And again, hoodies are kind of associated with youth culture and delinquency and, hinting at violence and secretiveness, that which is hidden. And so I'm sort of playing on that. This is a series of images of people with birds. As you can see, the bird is being used as a needle. This is one of my favorite images of the human and the animal element. Obviously that looks very painful, but yet it's kind of referencing Christ, image of the stigmata. And the bodies in these images started to fracture and distort until they were unrecognizable. So in this one, the body is fracturing openings and the birds are coming out and freeing themselves. So this sculpture is entitled Centurion Bird 1, based on a story that my father told me when I was a little girl called Hepzibah's Last Stand. And it was a story about a 300-year-old parrot. And this is when Hepzibah was living during the Roman era. So this is actually a gladiator helmet that I had made out of steel. And then I had the face fabricated out of acrylic and filled with feathers. So again, there is this duality between the harshness, the solidity of the helmet, and then the kind of more delicate quality of the feathers inside of it. This piece is probably one of the most important sculptural works that I've ever made. It was made as an homage to my dog, Flan. He passed in 2014. And I wanted to make a work of art that combined elements of him with elements of me. So after he died, I actually shaved his body. And as you can see from the inside of this heart, there are pieces of his hair. And then 2 days after he died, I shaved my own head. And I put both of our hair mixed together inside the center of the heart as a way of honoring him. He was an incredibly powerful, amazing being in my life, and I wanted to give something back to him as a way of saying goodbye and thank you.